You know, a great deal has been written in the media about workforce development and the graying of the worker population in manufacturing in the Dayton region. And this can be something that many companies don't have a really good grasp of with their organization. And this quick video tutorial is to give you an example of how you would analyze your workforce very quickly and easily using Microsoft Excel. So what you see here is a kind of a dummy database of employees. It's a 35-member company, and we really want to take a look at two areas, both the age of the population, the 35 employees, as well as their tenure. And Excel has some pretty interesting and quick and actually easy functions to very quickly take a look at this. So to start with, let's consider the age grouping. And to calculate the age, you need today's date as well as the birth date of the employee. And the subtracting from today's date to the birth date will end up giving you naturally their age. So to do that in Excel, we'll want to go ahead and type in the function equals with an open parentheses, the word today, T-O-D-A-Y, and open and enclosed parentheses. That gives you today's date. We want to subtract from that the birth date of the employee. In this case, it would be the number that's in cell C4, so we'll subtract C4. Then we'll have a closed parentheses, and we want to divide this entire number by 365 days just to give us the number of years of age. We hit enter, and you can see this person who was born on April 9th of 1943 is 70.12 years. Now, to make it a little bit easier, let's round that to 70 years, round it up or down. To do that, we would click on the column. We'd go over to our home. There's a small edit area. We'll convert it to a comma format. That takes us down to 2 decimal places, but let's go ahead and decrease the decimals twice by left-clicking twice on the decreased decimal. And you can see now this is showing that the person is 70 years old. Now, so that we don't have to write that equation or type that equation in every cell, we can go ahead to the bottom right-hand corner of the highlighted cell. We can left-click on it, hold it down, and drag it to copy that formula all the way down. So now you can see we have the age of each employee, and let's go ahead and just type in the word age so that we can keep tabs on that. We want to do a similar analysis for the tenure, so let's go ahead and type in the word tenure and do a very similar calculation, and the tenure is just today's date minus the hire date of the employee. So again, we go up into our formula bar, type the word equals today, equals open parentheses today, open close parentheses, minus, and in this case the hire date is in cell D4, so it's D4, close parentheses, divided by 365. Hit enter, and you can see this person has got 50.2 years. So we'll want to go through the same way to get it to a whole number. We'll put it into a comma format, left click twice on it, and there you have it. And we'll just drag this one down as we did before. And very quickly now, you've got both the age of each employee as well as their tenure. Now again, Microsoft Excel has some built-in analysis functions, and one thing you'd want to look at is kind of what's the distribution of my age as well as my tenure of my company. Very quickly, Excel can do those calculations for you, and the way you do that is you go up to your top toolbar, you'll see the word data, you'll click on that tab, and on the right hand side you've got the data analysis button. So we'll click on that. And there are a number of analytical tools in data analysis, but the one we want is the histogram. So we highlight histogram and click OK. And now this gives us a number of things we've got to fill in to do our analysis. Because we want to first look at our age and not our tenure, our input range would be our range cells F4 through F38. So what we're going to want to do, since it's highlighted here, we'll go ahead and highlight by left clicking and dragging down, and you'll see that it's filled in or populated this cell. The next is our bin range. Now in this yellow area, I took the liberty of determining brackets for both age and tenure. In the case of age, it would be in 5-year increments. In brackets, or tenure, I did it in 4-year increments. So we're going to want to input into our bin range, which we have to highlight first by left clicking and dragging across so that it's darkened. We want to put our age brackets in. So again, we'll left click on K4. We'll drag that down to K14, and you'll see that information now is in your bin range area. Now we want to output the data, and we'll put it out on this spreadsheet, and this gives us a place to put it. So we'll make sure that radio button is highlighted. We're going to want to highlight this area by dragging to the left over it, and let's just put the data, let's say, starting right here. We want a chart output so we can see graphically what this looks like, and now that we've set all this up, we can click the OK button, and it does the calculations for us. So looking at the data now, it shows us the various bins and the number of employees that fit in each bin. And as you would read this, for example, the 45 bin would be anything from the age of 40 plus 1 day to the age of 45. We have 3 people. In the case of the 55 bin, that would be the age of 50 plus 1 day to 55, and we have 7 people. And you can just see graphically what your distribution looks like on the right-hand side here. And just very quickly, we want to highlight that, and we can just drag it up to expand it. And you'll notice that the highest number of employees from an age standpoint are the age of 55, and to just look at these numbers on the graph, we can click on the bar, and you'll see that they're all highlighted. Then we'll right click on it, add data labels, and then now quickly you can see something that's really quite interesting. And what it shows you is you've got 9 plus 2 is 11 plus 7 is 18. So you have 18 employees of 35 who are the age of 50 plus 1 day and higher. And very quickly then you can look at that and say, geez, in the next 17 years, a pretty significant number of the employees of this organization will be either retired or at retirement age. And that should give some reasonable understanding of what kind of situation you have in your company. But let's also take a look at the tenure in the organization, because that's not unimportant. And we'll do a very similar analysis. We'll go again, we're on the data tab. We'll do data analysis. We'll drop down box histogram, we'll click OK. And it has the prior information put in from our age analysis, but we want to change that to tenure, and that's easy enough to do. So our input range now changes to the cells G4 through G38. You'll notice it's highlighted, so all I need to do is left click, drag, hold it down, drag it, and that goes ahead and fills in my input range. My bin range, of course, now is my tenure brackets, so I'll want to left click, drag across to highlight it, and go ahead and do the same here. And then finally, I don't want to output my data over top of my current data, so I'll want to change that as well. So let's go ahead and highlight that, and then come down here and we'll put the data down here. Our chart output has been checked, so we can go ahead and click OK. Now all of a sudden, and let me scroll down a little bit here, you can see a difference. Pretty significant. We'll highlight, we'll go ahead and expand it up. We'll click on the bars, see they're all highlighted. We'll then right click, add our data labels. And now you can see, although we have a company whose age is very senior, we also have a company whose tenure is very junior. Again, with what happened in the period of 2007 to 2009 in manufacturing, this is a pretty easy explanation to understand. And again, it gives you some significant insight as to the training needs as well as the workforce development needs that you've probably got in your company. So I hope this was a good tool for you. The DRMA will help support you in your workforce initiatives, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.